out tonight. I don't know what day it is. I think it's the 22nd or 23rd. We got a ton of snow. I actually just got my truck buried in the field trying to get out here. So that took like a half an hour of messing around, but I'm going to a stand of pines where these deer usually stack up when the snow gets deep. I'm gonna head in here, still hunt my way into the wind to the stand and sit till dark, see what happens. I'm sitting in this stand in these pines now. There's way less snow in these pines. Probably a good night to just still hunt around, honestly, but I feel like the deer have got to cruise through here. So I'll probably sit here for at least an hour and a half. Might still hunt my way back to the field right at dark. Fresh bed right there with walking tracks coming up out of it. There's a huge bear track going through right here. I think I'm going to take it out and see. I never shot a bear before, but if I'm going to do it, this would be a cool way to do it, tracking them down. I had a blurry ass picture on my cell camera last night. Walked right up to it. Time that was right there. It had to be him. 3 o'clock this morning, right there. Must have been standing right in front of it. Oh, he's only about 5 hours ahead of me. I'm gonna try this, see what happens. Now you're tracking this bear out, and I just walked up on a couple deer. I'm in a real convenient spot to fill a doe tag here. I'm just off the edge of this big field, so I might take one. Make sure it's decent size first. That doe was standing right in here somewhere when I shot. That piece of matter right there. Comes up this way. Real good blood. I shot it because I figured this field would be an easy place to the deer out from. And of course, mean, spraying blood out both ends. Could have been perfect right up here on this high spot. I tracked it. Down in here, I saw another deer get up off this bank over here, and I was afraid maybe I winged it, but I mean, I don't know if you can see or not, but there's a cut that goes down through here, a pretty good gorge, and she came through that up on the other side. Couldn't quite get out and came back down, so now I gotta see if I can find a long piece of rope. Get my four-wheeler to right here and drag it up out of this ravine. But I think first I'm gonna go back and get on those bear tracks again. If I can't follow that out for a while, I'll come back for this, but we got one down. I'm definitely a novice when it comes to bears, but I've tracked a lot of other stuff in the woods. It's definitely freshening up. I'm still a ways behind it though, like this. We're getting into like a stand of, there's gonna be a whole bunch of these small pine trees and pucker brush and stuff in here. This is not the way I would have guessed him to go. There's a big swamp behind me that I thought he was headed for sure, and a whole bunch of old logging, but this is way more open area, so I don't know. I guess there's a chance he could just be bedded up under one of these pine trees out here. Let's see his. There's my boot tracks from last night. And he walked right over the top of them. Yeah, he's headed right back out into this scrub brush here. Some folks with more bear experience might not get rattled by this, but when they tracks lead right up to a blow down tree like this and I can't see them on the other side, it's a little nerve-wracking. Could be. Let's see where he's holding. Nope. He keeps going out. I'm still on that track, and he is headed to where I thought he would go. You get through this little clearing right here, there's a swamp on the other side with a whole bunch of big blowdowns in it. If he stopped to bed in there, I might be able to get him, but if he goes another quarter of a mile, he's going to be on a different piece of property that I won't follow him in on. I don't have permission on it, so my guess is that he's either in that swamp, or if he cuts right, there's some county land back there that got reforested, and there's a bunch of like Christmas tree size, real thick pine patches. My guess is he's in one of those two places. But if he is in this swamp here, my dad shot a buck right in this swamp a few years ago, and there is some big blown down pine trees and stuff that would make sense, so we'll see what happens. Well, I jumped him. I think he was in that patch of pines right there. It's a running tracks, fresh as hell right here. I definitely jumped him out of there. Came across what I thought might have been a bed, but it didn't really look. Although I guess if he's only been laying there for a little while. yeah, this is fresh as hell right here. Tearing ass. I should have slowed down because I knew that this was probably an area where he was going to be, but I didn't really have much faith that it was actually going to be there. I'm going to follow this another couple hundred yards, just maybe see if he stops, turn around and looks. Well, where I jumped him, I'm now going to make a huge big loop around just to try to see if I can catch him. I just cut these old bear tracks. These are probably from yesterday, but I assume the same bear. Headed up into this patch of oaks we call the Oak Ridge. I got to stand up here, but where he ran is about a couple hundred yards that way and up. I'm going to try to make a big swing around this creek bottom on the other side. Just see what happens. I came down here and I just smoked that freaking bear at the back of this field. There he is right there. He ain't dead. He was laying right here, where that pine tree when I shot him. He came tearing through here. While I hit him. big to me, man.
Alex's first bear.
Oh my God. God. Little Lardy.
Wow.
That's a big bear.
Yeah, that's the blowdown where I had to stand. Oh man, those guys were such a huge help. Side by side and a tractor to load that thing. Wow. Tracked that bear for 2.6 miles before I jumped him out of his bed the first time. And then when I gave up and I was going back to my truck to get the dough and deal with that, and popped out into a little opening and I saw a black blob out there. Cleaned my scope off, looked at it, and cleaned my scope again, looked at it. Took a phone call from my buddy. Finally, I was on the phone with him and I saw the head move. I said, listen, I'm pretty sure I'm looking at this bear right now. Hung up the phone, sat down, got a rest as good as I could, and shot. And when I did, he went ballistic, and then it was I just kept tracking him, got 2 more shots in him. I know I hit him once. I think I might have missed the other time, and then the kill shot was just crazy. He came out of a blowdown about 10 feet in front of me, and when I pulled up to finish him off, he was so close I couldn't even see him in the scope. About the time he walked about 10 yards away, he showed up in the scope, and I hammered him, and that was the end. But yeah, pretty wild.
Nice.
What the hell I'm gonna do now? I have to call some buddies that know more about bears than I do.
Yep.
Yeah, big year.
No kill video, but he's killing him.
Big year. All right. Stands right there. November 25th. Not sure how big this buck is, but all I saw was horns, so let's go crack at him. It's decent. He's dead, that's all that matters.